Huge, strange creatures have been seen lurking just off the coast of Japan, and they're giving locals and scientists the creeps. But that's not the only bizarre find that has researchers excited. From a creature that looks like a plate of spaghetti to a super rare shark, here are deep-sea creatures you won't believe actually exist. Number 12. Monster Godzilla, wolf fish of Fukushima. You know you've stumbled upon something extraordinary when fishermen start pulling mutant sea creatures out of the ocean. This wild tale dates back to a significant event in Japan over 8 years ago, which seems to have left a mark on the local marine life. Take Hiroshi Hirasaka for instance, a professional fish hunter who made headlines after snagging a wolf fish that was off the charts during a fishing trip to Hokkaido. Hiroshi reeled in a 6-foot-long wolf fish, a catch that was more than twice the size of the usual 3-foot specimens. The beast weighed 5 times more than your average wolf fish. Local chatter quickly turned to theories about radioactive fallout possibly playing a role in its massive size. Hiroshi, who often shares his exotic catches on Twitter, and even penned a book titled, Exotic Fish Species I Caught, Judged, and Tried Eating, couldn't contain his excitement over the monstrous fish. But Japan isn't the only place with tales of unusually large fish stirring up worry and wonder. Near Chernobyl, giant catfish were discovered lurking close to the site of the nuclear event, while adventurous divers exploring the radioactive waters reported severe radiation sickness, with some tales even mentioning the need for lead-lined coffins after such daring escapades. Over in Siberia, another colossal wolf fish story emerged, with locals reporting an aggressive encounter with the creature, known for its powerful jaws, thick tails, and rows of sharp teeth, near Lake Kugo. The finger of blame? Radiation from waste dumped into the lake by a nearby chemical plant. Despite these hair-raising stories, experts like Dr. Timothy Musso, a radiation specialist at the University of South Carolina, urge caution. According to him, mutations from radiation exposure rarely result in gigantism. More often than not, affected creatures grow less efficiently and have shorter lifespans. Meanwhile, in Japan, a different marine mystery has locals on edge. Giant oarfish, known as messengers from the sea god's palace, have been washing up on beaches, which many believe to be a forewarning of upcoming underwater seismic activity. With all these aquatic anomalies, it might not be as surprising to hear of another strange discovery, supposed aliens found in the Arctic Ocean. Number 11. The flying spaghetti monster. You'd think exploring the deep sea is all about dark, eerie silhouettes and the occasional eerie glow, right? Well, sometimes marine biologists hit the jackpot, turning what could be just another day under the sea into a discovery that looks like it's straight out of a quirky sci-fi film. This particular adventure kicked off with a 28-day expedition led by the Schmidt Ocean Institute. Their destination, the biodiversity-packed Nazca Ridge off the coast of Chile, an area not usually frequented by the cameras and lights of human presence. Aboard the research vessel Falker, scientists and their trusty remotely operated vehicle, ROV Sebastian dove about 2,200 feet below the surface. What they found there was nothing short of spectacular. Enter the flying spaghetti monster, or more scientifically put, Bathyphysa conifera. This isn't your garden variety sea creature. With its stringy, noodle-like appendages tipped with pink, this siphonophore, a colonial organism, much like corals, composed of individual polyps, could easily be mistaken for something out of a children's animated show. Siphonophores are known to hang out in some of the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, ranging from 3,300 to a whopping 9,900 feet deep. Getting a glimpse of them is rare, making this encounter a real treat. But the surprises didn't stop with our noodly friend. The expedition also marked the first recorded appearance in the South Pacific of some other shy marine celebrities, like the live Precoxacina catina squid and the ethereal Casper octopus. Throughout the journey, the team estimated they discovered around 20 new species. This treasure trove of findings isn't just cool, it's crucial. These insights into the previously unknown ecosystem thriving around the underwater mountains of the southeastern Pacific could help guide future conservation efforts, especially timely considering the recent international push to protect marine biodiversity. Marine biologist Dr. Alex David Rogers, who spearheaded the research, emphasized how these seamounts serve as bustling hubs of life. Dense populations of corals, sponges, and other deep-sea entities flourish here, painting a vibrant picture of life in the deep blue. Number 10. New species of elusive ghost shark. Scientists thousands of miles away were exploring the chilly depths off New Zealand's coast, and what did they find? Not just another fish in the sea, but a new ghost shark species that could make a blockbuster marine movie. Meet the Hariata ralliana, or as I like to call it, the Australasian narrow-nosed spookfish. This epic discovery unfolded in 2024 when the sharp-eyed team at New Zealand's National Institute for Water and Atmospheric Research, NIWA, ventured into the murky waters of the Chatham Rise region. Here, almost 1.6 miles beneath the waves, they stumbled upon this elusive creature. Now, initially, the researchers figured they'd just cross paths with a known species, but hold your seahorses, genetic analysis threw them a curveball. This wasn't just any fish. It was a distinct species that calls the depths around New Zealand and Australia its home. The ghost shark, a part of the mysterious chimera family, relatives to sharks and rays, but sporting snazzier features like large pectoral fins and beak-like teeth, dates back over 400 million years. Talk about a living fossil, right? These guys glide through the ocean, munching on crustaceans and mollusks, totally unfazed by their ancient pedigree. Dr. Britt Finucci, the fishery scientist spearheading this watery expedition, decided to tip her hat to her roots. She named the new species after her grandmother, using avia, which is Latin for, you guessed it, grandmother. But let's not gloss over how tough it is to study these ghost swimmers. Researchers have to plunge up to 2,600 meters, that's about 8,500 feet, to catch a glimpse of them, making sightings as rare as a sunny day in Scotland. And yet, these deep-sea dives are crucial, with around 16% of ghost shark species teetering on the brink of being threatened and another 15% barely studied. Every discovery is a step towards understanding and hopefully preserving these ancient mariners. Number 9. Sinuous Asperoteuthis mangoldii squid filmed alive for the first time. Who says only land creatures can pull off stunning surprises? Meet the Asperoteuthis mangoldii, a deep-sea squid whose recent discovery has left scientists buzzing with excitement. This oceanic enigma was first caught on camera live by the sharp eyes aboard the EV Nautilus, courtesy of the intrepid ROV Hercules. Just picture this scene unfolding at a staggering depth of 930 meters beneath the surface near Jarvis Seamount in the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument. During this particular dive on July 5, 2019, the team initially spotted what seemed to be a standard narrow squid. But hold on, there was more to it, literally. What they thought was something attached to it turned out to be its own tail, effectively doubling its length. This isn't your garden variety tail, though. It boasts tissue flaps that look like secondary fins, a feature unique to the Asperoteuthis genus. And while these flaps might not propel the squid through the water, they do a fantastic job of altering its silhouette, perhaps mimicking more daunting sea creatures to ward off predators. You might be wondering how this quirky tail works in action. Here's the scoop. When things get too close for comfort, the mangoldii can fold this tail tissue up close to a rod-like structure within itself, shrinking its size and reducing drag. This little trick lets it make a swift getaway, not just by jetting forward, but by zipping backward, too, all while compacting its tail to minimize visibility. Dr. Michael Vecchione, the NOAA scientist who helped identify this species, is deeply intrigued by these appearance-changing antics. What advantage could they possibly offer in the deep sea's near-total darkness? It's all about survival, and the mangoldii seems to have a few tricks up its tail. The intrigue doesn't stop there. A video capturing this behavior shows the squid's color shifts and even its strategy to release ink, adding to its repertoire of escape tactics. Each move is a calculated step in the dance of deep-sea survival. Number 8. Giant pyrosome and salps. Let me introduce you to the ocean's glowing wonders, pyrosomes and salps, known affectionately as sea pickles. These fascinating creatures are not just single animals, but bustling colonies of thousands, all packed into one giant, glowing party. Pyrosomes can sometimes stretch up to an eye-popping 60 feet, lighting up the ocean with a greenish-blue glow that illuminates the dark depths like a neon sign. These aren't your average sea creatures. They're a complex collection of tiny beings called zooids, each contributing to the colony's health and mobility. When they feel threatened or disturbed, they put on a bioluminescent display that earns them the nickname fire bodies, from the Greek words for fire, pyro, and body, soma. The deep-sea scene gets even more intriguing with the salps. Think of them as the pyrosome's transparent, jet-setting cousins. These guys are also part of the tunicate family but sport a more streamlined, barrel-shaped look. Salps can multiply quickly in nutrient-rich waters by traveling in long, chain-like colonies. They play a critical role in the ocean by munching on phytoplankton and then sending their carbon-rich waste to the ocean floor, which helps in carbon sequestration. Now you might be wondering how these creatures move about. Both pyrosomes and salps have a nifty trick. They jet water through their bodies to propel themselves through the vast ocean. It's a fascinating display of nature's ingenuity and design and efficiency, allowing them to drift and feed across extensive stretches of the sea. Recent expeditions by teams from the Schmidt Ocean Institute and Ocean Conservancy have shown a spotlight on these creatures, observing their behaviors and how they contribute to marine ecosystems and the carbon cycle. Their ability to light up not only wards off predators, but also highlights how vital these creatures are to ocean health. Number 7. The fish that walk on land. The mudskipper is no ordinary fish. With its ability to walk on land and even blink outside of water, This quirky creature has been a source of fascination for scientists for decades. Originally spotted hopping around the Indo-Pacific mangrove swamps, mudskippers are the acrobats of the fish world, using their muscular pectoral fins in a way that would make a gymnast proud. These aren't merely fins, they're modified to act like little elbows, allowing mudskippers to lift their bodies and propel themselves forward in a coordinated crutching motion. It's a bit like watching someone use crutches to move around, but it's only a lot slicker and with more splashes. Researchers, including those from the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology, have been studying these movements to gain insights into the evolutionary leap from water to land creatures that took place over 375 million years ago. And guess what? Mudskippers can spend up to 75% of their life on land thanks to their specially adapted gill chambers that keep their gills moist, letting them breathe air through the lining of their mouths. But that's not all. These fish are among the very few that can blink on land, a crucial feature that keeps their eyes from drying out and sweeps away any dirt. The blinking isn't just a random quirk. It evolved as a nifty solution for living on dry land. This fascinating behavior was recently highlighted in a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, shedding light on how blinking might have evolved in terrestrial animals. By tucking its eyes back into moist cavities in its skull, the mudskipper keeps its vision clear and its eyes hydrated, a brilliant example of evolutionary innovation. Using tools like 3D microcomputed tomography, scientists have delved deep into the mudskipper's anatomy to understand how its body is engineered for life both in and out of water. With each discovery, we understand the resilience and adaptability of life forms. Isn't nature full of surprises? Number 6. Glass octopus. Who knew a little octopus could make such a big splash in scientific circles? Well, let me take you on a fascinating journey to the Phoenix Islands in the Pacific Ocean. Here, during a 34-day expedition by the Schmidt Ocean Institute, researchers stumbled upon the elusive glass octopus, a creature as mysterious as it is transparent. As the Sebastian robot descended into the inky depths, its lights pierced through the darkness, revealing a ghostly figure drifting silently through the water. The glass octopus appeared almost ethereal, its body completely see-through except for its cylindrical eyes, delicate optic nerves, and a faint trace of its digestive tract. For a moment, the crew watching from the Falker's control room fell into stunned silence. The octopus pulsed gently, its translucent arms rippling like liquid glass, refracting the light into soft blues and greens. Each movement seemed impossibly fragile, yet perfectly adapted for survival in the deep. Scientists observed how its transparency served as camouflage, making it nearly invisible to both predators and prey in the ocean's dim twilight. As it glided past the camera lens, it seemed less like a living creature and more like a ghost of evolution, proof that nature's most brilliant designs often hide in plain sight. Thanks to the intrepid underwater robot Sebastian, operated from the research vessel Falker, we got our first clear glimpse of this almost invisible cephalopod. Normally, the only tales we hear of these ghostly beings come from the remains found in the bellies of deep-sea monsters, but not this time. This expedition marked one of the rare instances where scientists managed to capture live footage of the glass octopus in its natural habitat, showcasing its barely there features like the optic nerve, eyes, and digestive tract. Now, if you think filming a nearly invisible octopus sounds challenging, imagine trying to map over 30,000 square kilometers of uncharted seafloor. That's exactly what these researchers were up to. Sebastian wasn't just busy with the octopus. It recorded 182 hours of footage across 21 dives, diving deep into the twilight and midnight zones of the ocean. That's between 656 to 9,800 feet below the surface. The robot's cameras not only spotted the glass octopus twice, but also caught sight of other rare marine life like a 40-foot whale shark and deep sea crabs getting a bit competitive. The team, which included experts from Boston University and the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, marveled at the octopus's transparency, noting it as a cunning evolutionary trick to hide from predators and sneak up on prey. Wendy Schmidt, co-founder of the institute, pointed out that these discoveries highlight the critical need for conservation and a deeper understanding of our marine ecosystems. Now it's time for today's topic. Off the coast of Okinawa, Japan, a group of professional freedivers filming marine life stumbled upon something that left even veteran oceanographers speechless. While exploring a trench 300 meters deep, diver Rin Takahashi noticed a massive shadow moving just beyond the light range of his camera. As he swam closer, the figure came into focus, a gigantic great white shark, easily exceeding 50 feet in length, dwarfing every diver around it. But what truly stunned the team were the deep claw-like gashes carved into the shark's side, fresh, raw, and far too large to have been made by another shark. The footage shows Run maintaining a careful distance while the creature glides slowly upward, the marks along its flank glowing faintly red in the filtered sunlight. Experts from the Tokyo Institute of Marine Science later analyzed the video, confirming that no known marine predator could inflict wounds of that scale on a shark of this size. Theories range from an encounter with an unknown deep-sea species to an ancient territorial battle far below human reach. Authorities have since restricted diving in that region pending further investigation, leaving scientists and divers worldwide wondering, what could be powerful enough to attack a giant like this? Number 5. Plankton eating plastic caught on camera. You might think lunchtime in the ocean is all about the big fish chomping on the little ones, but here's a twist. Plankton have their own dining drama, and it's with plastic. In an eye-opening experiment, these tiny drifters were spotted snacking on plastic particles, and it was all caught on camera. Clarity White of 5 Films, along with her team, set up microscopes at Plymouth Marine Laboratory in the UK to capture this unnerving feast. Their project drew inspiration from Matthew Cole's studies, which focus on how minuscule bits of plastic are impacting marine zooplankton. Using tiny fluorescent polystyrene beads ranging from 7 to 30 micrometers, they watched as copepods, a type of zooplankton, gobbled up these unnatural offerings. Imagine observing all this drama within just a single drop of water. Typically, these creatures would be dining on algae, whisking their food toward them with leg-generated currents and picking their meals based on chemical signals. However, under the microscope for 3 hours, these plankton were seen pulling double duty, swimming and processing what looked like a glow-in-the-dark internal conveyor belt of beads. The implications are broader than just a change in diet. Every year, millions of tons of plastic find their way into our oceans, fragmenting into pieces that threaten marine life. Consumed by organisms at the base of the food chain, these microplastics, which come from everyday items like buoys, polyester clothing, and even cosmetic additives, could transfer toxic substances all the way up to the fish that end up on our plates. Cole and his team's research has shown that a variety of zooplankton, from crab to oyster larvae, are ingesting these plastics. While some of them manage to excrete the particles within hours, others aren't as lucky. If they aren't feasting on their usual algae, the plastic can linger in their systems for up to a week, making it harder for them to feed and thrive. Number 4. Rare rainbow blanket octopuses caught on camera in the Philippines. Scuba diving at night might sound like a setup for a spooky tale, but for Joseph Eliani, a dive off Romblon Island turned into a colorful spectacle straight out of a fairy tale. During a night dive organized by 3P Holiday and Dive Resort, Eliani's camera caught something truly magical, a pair of rarely seen rainbow-colored blanket octopuses gliding through the dark waters. At first, all that broke the darkness was the rhythmic flicker of bioluminescent plankton, twinkling like stars in an underwater sky. Then, out of the shadows, the octopuses appeared, ribbons of iridescent silk unfurling in slow, mesmerizing waves. Their translucent blankets shimmered in purples, golds, and blues, reflecting the diver's light like stained glass set in motion. Eliani later described the encounter as watching living auroras dance in the sea. The 2 octopuses seemed to float effortlessly, their movements synchronized, as if performing a silent ballet beneath the moonlit surface. Each time they pulsed their webs, the surrounding water caught their colors and scattered them like liquid fire. Even seasoned divers accompanying Eliani were left motionless, transfixed by the surreal display. For a few precious minutes, the ocean felt like another world, peaceful, weightless, and alive with color beyond imagination. What makes this encounter extraordinary isn't just their appearance, but their rarity. Blanket octopuses are elusive creatures, typically dwelling in the open oceans of the Atlantic and Pacific, far from the seafloor's embrace. Named for the expansive webbing between their arms, which resembles a flowing blanket, these octopuses use this unique feature to fend off predators, creating a larger-than-life silhouette that can scare away threats. This particular sighting involved 2 female octopuses, each about a meter long. When their blankets were fully spread, they spanned an impressive 2 meters. What's fascinating is their ability to change colors so rapidly, a spectacle believed to be a reaction to the camera's lights or a defense strategy against predators. Now, female blanket octopuses can grow up to 6 feet, which contrasts starkly with their male counterparts, who only reach about 0.9 inches. Eliani shared the video on social media, giving everyone a glimpse of this rare and unforgettable sight. His full video not only showcased the blanket octopuses, but also highlighted the diverse marine life inhabiting the Philippine waters back in April 2019. Isn't it intriguing to think what else might lurk in our ocean depths, waiting to be discovered? Number 3. Piglet squid siphon looks like a snout. You might think marine science is all about serious statistics and tedious tracking, but sometimes it's as if the ocean decides to throw a party and invite the quirkiest guests. Take the case from 2019 when researchers aboard the EV Nautilus stumbled upon an unexpected star of the sea near Palmyra Atoll in the central Pacific Ocean. Diving about 4,444 feet, 1,385 meters, Below the surface, the team encountered a critter that looked more like a cartoon character than anything else. As the remotely operated vehicle drifted closer, the lights illuminated a small, translucent body with bright orange eyes and an almost comical expression. The piglet squid seemed entirely unfazed by the attention, pulsing gently in the water as if striking a pose for the cameras. The control room erupted in laughter and awe, with scientists unable to contain their delight at the sight of this deep-sea oddity. Its rotund shape, rounded mantle, and dangling tentacles gave it the look of a helium balloon come to life. Even seasoned marine biologists, who had documented countless species, admitted they'd never seen anything quite like it before. The squid's movements were slow and graceful, using its tiny fins and jet propulsion to stay perfectly buoyant in the crushing darkness. For a brief, magical moment, the deep ocean, usually mysterious and menacing, felt whimsical, almost childlike, as this tiny creature floated through beams of artificial light like a drifting, smiling ghost. Enter the piglet squid, floating effortlessly with its tentacles waving like some underwater cheerleader. This peculiar little squid had scientists scratching their heads and laughing in wonder all at once. "What are you?" echoed a voice in the background as the cameras rolled, capturing the piglet squid's charming antics. "Is that a squid?" "I think it's a squid. It's like a bloated squid with tiny tentacles and a little hat that's waving around, and it looks like it's got a massive inflated mantle cavity. I've never seen anything quite like this before." You'd almost expect it to start talking or do a little dance. Now, the piglet squid isn't just a looker. It's got some serious adaptations for deep-sea life. Known for its siphon that eerily resembles the snout of a young pig, this squid's body structure is fascinatingly different. Imagine a creature whose arms and legs, if you could call them that, sprout right out of its head, enveloping its vital organs in what's called a mantle. No bones about it, literally. Funded by the non-profit Ocean Exploration Trust, the Nautilus expeditions often spotlight such extraordinary sea creatures, reminding us of the incredible biodiversity hidden beneath the waves. And just when you think you've seen it all, the ocean surprises you again. So what other secrets does the deep blue hold? Number 2. Rare footage of the elusive Greenland shark. Embarking on an adventure to the icy depths of the Canadian Arctic might sound like a scene from a blockbuster movie, but for Bryn Devine and Laura Wieland from Memorial University of Newfoundland, it was just another day at the office. Teaming up with the Arctic Fishery Alliance, they set out on a mission that would give the world a peek into an underwater world rarely seen by human eyes, the mysterious life of Greenland sharks. Their tool of choice, deep ocean drop cameras, resembling futuristic orbs, baited with squid to entice the shy creatures of the deep. These cameras, encased in watertight spheres and hitched to weight frames, were designed to capture hours of underwater drama, operated under the set-it-and-forget-it philosophy, as Devine, a driven PhD candidate, put it. These devices filmed the ocean's depths for 8 to 10 hours at a stretch during the chilly months between July and September. Across the years 2015 and 2016, the team conducted 31 camera drops, and an impressive 80% of these sessions caught sight of Greenland sharks, with over 250 hours of footage unveiling 142 unique sharks. Not one shark made a repeat appearance, each identifiable by their unique markings. Some of these elusive giants stretched up to 10 feet long, though many were juveniles still years away from maturity. Known to some as sleeper sharks, Greenland sharks thrive in the profound silence of deep-sea trenches, making them a rare sight. Alan Turchik, a National Geographic engineer who encountered one back in 2014, highlighted the rarity of such meetings. Historically hunted for their oil-rich livers, much of what we know about these creatures comes from old fishing logs. Remarkably, they are some of the longest-living vertebrates on the planet, with lifespans that can stretch up to 272 years. Despite the wealth of footage and data gathered, Devine emphasizes that this is just scratching the surface. The vast expanses of the Arctic Ocean hold many more secrets awaiting discovery. With concerns over threats like overfishing and habitat disruption, the careful study and conservation of these ancient sharks have become ever more crucial. Number 1. Paraphila aliens of the deep. Diving deep into the ocean's secrets sometimes brings you face to face with creatures so bizarre that they seem plucked from a sci-fi movie. One such enigma is the paraphila, affectionately known as the aliens of the deep. This helmet jellyfish, first penned in scientific texts in the early 1800s, has continued to mesmerize researchers with its otherworldly glow and surreal adaptations. You can find these eerie beauties nearly everywhere, save for the icy Arctic Ocean. They prefer the pitch-black comfort of depths ranging from 900 meters all the way down to the bone-crushing pressure at 7,000 meters or more. But don't be fooled. These creatures don't always stick to their deep-sea hideouts. They're known to sneak up to shallower waters under the cover of night. In 2019, during NOAA's thrilling Windows to the Deep expedition, scientists used an ROV at 860 meters off the southeastern coast of the U.S. to get a close-up view of these captivating creatures. The scene was nothing short of cinematic. The paraphilla's graceful pulsations lit up the ocean's dark stage with their glowing, leaf-like structures and movements. Their deep red hue, a stealth mode enabled by pigments called porphyrins, helps them evade predators by masking the bioluminescence of their prey. These jellyfish aren't just about good looks. They pack a punch with their bioluminescent flashes, firing them off as a defense mechanism when disturbed. And here's a fun fact, they're photophobic. That's right, despite their own light show, paraphilla jellyfish dodge any exposure to light like celebrities avoid paparazzi, as it can harm their delicate pigments and neural structures. The icy waters of Norwegian fjords provide a prime gathering spot for these jellies, especially during the dark, nutrient-rich winters of places like Lurøyfjorden. Here, divers on moonless nights might feel like they've stumbled into an underwater alien convention. But as the sun peaks, these jellies dip back into the deep, disappearing with the daylight. These mysterious expeditions have done more than document the survival tactics of helmet jellyfish. They've sparked a broader curiosity about the life forms that inhabit our planet's isolated twilight zones. That's all for today's video. So, what do you think about this massive creature spotted off Japan's coast? Does it remind you of the real-life Godzilla? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping discoveries coming your way.